how are you doing? I've got a very dramatic beam of light today shining on me. The sun is out, it is early April now. Springs are springing. It was April Fool's Day on Tuesday and my kids got me. They put a toy snake on the top of my door. I don't know how they reached that. A toy hamster in my cleaning bucket that I take to work every day. And there was a toy cat stuffed in the tube of the air conditioning unit, which isn't attached. We don't need that very often in the UK. There's about 3 days a year where it's just ridiculously hot and then the rest of the year it's freezing, it's fine. So did anybody get you this year? Did you get anybody? I always forget to do anything to anybody else. I'm always just the victim. So today I am going to be carrying on with the Create This book, but since it's nearly Easter, I am going to try and create spring/Easter themed art on all of the pages. And I'm going to do as many pages as I can before the school run, which is in about 5 hours. And I will also be testing out some art supplies, because I thought maybe these might make nice Easter gifts. So I finally got myself some new paintbrushes, because all my other brushes were literally from like 6th form. And aren't they beautiful? They're so pretty. You have seen some of these things before. I am recycling a little bit here because art supplies are expensive, but there is a couple of new things. I've got the acrylic markers. I've got these FABER-CASTELL crayons. I've got my PASTEL MARTE acrylic paints. I've also got the alcohol markers. And then this is brand new, because if you had seen my old paint palette in a previous video, I've had that for a long time. And look how many colours is in this one. So I'm really excited to open that up. So you may have noticed that I was doing a 30-day challenge of this, but then got to about day 7 and just stopped. Yeah, it was unsustainable. I started getting an eye twitch, which is usually my body's natural cue of saying, you're doing too much. So I thought it best to just make the occasional Friday video instead. Now, if you don't already know, Create This book was created by Moriah Elizabeth, and this is the 3rd one. So they have mostly blank pages for you to create your artwork with a really imaginative prompt in the corner. Now, I would be very surprised if you didn't know who Moriah was, but you had somehow found my videos. Either your YouTube algorithm is very broken, or you're one of my friends or family. Hi! Because she is, if not the biggest art channel on YouTube, because she is absolutely hilarious. She has an amazing imagination. I find her videos really inspirational. She has tons of merch that me and my daughter Lily are obsessed with. You might have spotted that on the shelves in previous videos. So here's Eustace. So as you can see, he's just such good quality as well, like the embroidery and everything. Because they do come in blind bags, but instead of like spending loads of money on the packaging, you can see that the spending has gone into the actual product. So I've also got lemon here and angry lemon. And I don't know how she does it, but she brings out more merch like every week. I think she must have one of those time turner watches that Hermione has. She's got 2 kids as well. And I actually love that she mostly draws from imagination. It's very similar to the illustration process. Like with my own books, like you have to create all of the characters and scenery and stuff from your imagination. So yeah, I was doing all of the pages in order, but I was a little bit stuck on the next page. Draw items that you need to survive alone. I think it's because I'm not that keen on drawing stuff. So I decided today, I went through them all and picked my favourite ones that I thought would work best for the Easter spring theme, which is kind of cheating. I probably should just carry on in order, but it's okay. So that's why there's post-it notes. Okay, so my first page is Create Realism. So my kids for Mother's Day bought me some lovely flowers that I've put outside the art shed. So I thought that I might use the watercolours to try and paint those. So I shall bring those in and get painting. I've got a fresh brew onto the tea now so I don't get the caffeine shakes. And I've got me pansies, the ones that Lily got and the ones that James got. Some of these are slightly past their best, but we can still work with it. And I've got my new watercolour set. There's just a bit of soil everywhere now. Okay, let's open this up. I'm just too excited. Oh, there's stuff here as well. It's like Christmas. So we've got a sponge, a sharpener, a pencil, a paintbrush, and it actually feels like a nice paintbrush. And I don't know what you call this, but it looks like you fill it with water, and then I might try that out. I've never used one of these before. Although I've got my new paintbrushes. I'll use both, it's okay. And it comes in a lovely velvety pouch. It looks like we've got a kind of swatch card, so you can, I mean, that would take forever. And it also looks like we've got a few samples of watercolour paper. I might actually use these for in my Create This book. And then the tin itself. I'm not sponsored by these guys or anything, I'm just genuinely this excited. Oh my gosh, I've never seen so many colours. And it looks like we've got some sort of nice palette here as well. Ooh. I don't know if some of these are slightly metallic-ish. Like that looks a little bit metallic. Okay, I can't even. Look, I'm just kind of bending the... What am I doing wrong? Oh. Oh, it's going. Maybe I was doing it the wrong way, I'm not sure. Oh no, I think a spidey or something has got in my water. Can I rescue you? Is it too late for you? Oh. There's lots of tiny little spiders that live in my shed, like in the corners. You work in a garden shed, you're gonna get spiders. Maybe, I think it goes the opposite way, because you'd think righty-tighty. Oh, it's the bottom bit's righty-tighty. But I guess it depends which way up you've got. Oh, beyond me. So I will do Lily's flowers on one sheet and James's flowers on the other sheet. So there's no arguing. They will find anything and everything to argue about, these two. Am I gonna have to draw them simultaneously as well, or they're gonna argue about that, who's got drawn first? I might start off with the purple ones because it's simpler. I did water them yesterday, so they're a bit soggy, kind of leaking. Now, do I draw an individual flower, or do I draw the whole pot of flowers? Or do I just sit here and drink tea and contemplate life? It's the answer to most things. I don't know what it is about pansies, but they look kind of like faces to me. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Or is it an Alice in Wonderland or something? I feel like there's a Disney cartoon where the flowers are like singing. I don't know. It's not going to be Bambi. I don't think the flowers sing in Bambi. It's one of the older ones though. I guess that's the point though, isn't it? I think plants and bugs and stuff try to look a bit like face to kind of scare things off. Well, they don't try, it just evolved that way because it worked. They're not like trying to pull angry faces at you. I'm gonna test out this water pen thing. Now we've got lots of shades of purple on this palette, yay. It's quite a bluish purple. And we are gonna need greens as well. I'm contaminating. Yeah, that's come out really nice actually. I was concerned that it might not be very pigmented because it wasn't actually very expensive. Like it wasn't the cheapest, but it definitely wasn't the most expensive either. And I'm actually quite impressed. So I am going to finish these up and I shall chat to you in a minute. Okay, so I am all finished with this one and I have stuck them in the book and I'm actually really pleased with how these came out. The prompt was create realism and they have come out kind of more expressive, but I like it. I think it's very springy. I was really pleased with these paints. The colours came out really vibrantly. I really enjoyed using the water brush. I just wish I'd bought these sooner, to be honest. So yeah, I highly recommend those. Right, the next page, create a finger painting. And I'm going to use the pastel acrylics. Now when I got these, I actually wanted to get Moriah's pastel acrylic set, but you can't get them in the UK. This was all that I could find, but I would have got those if I could. So I was thinking I'm gonna do splodges and turn them into chicks, bunnies, and Easter eggs. Okay, let's start off with the yellow for the chicks. Like a bit smaller than I was expecting. I don't know why. Okay, that's enough of that yellow. I think I'm gonna switch to orangey yellow now. Yeah, that's a bit more like chick coloured. Okay, next I'm gonna use the kind of browns for the bunnies. This is the great thing about the Create This book. It makes you do things that you would just never ever try in a million years without the suggestion. And I swear I've learned more from doing this Create This book than I ever did at art college. I actually didn't do very well at college. I only just passed. Like, my art teacher at school was so nice. And then I went to college and the tutor, he was just like, he wanted everything to be really dark and meaningful. And that's just not my style. The emotions that I like to evoke with my work is joy and positivity. And I think there's enough misery in the world without creating more. Okay, I think we need some blue and purple and green. Okay, I might go and get some lunch and put some washing to dry because the sun is shining. And then when I get back, this should be dry and I can add the details. Okay, so my finger painting one is done. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It looks pretty cute. I definitely never would have created this without the prompt. So the next prompt, write 3 laws you think would make the world more fun. So I was having to think about this one and I came up with my own personal 3 laws. Rule number 1, if someone does an awkward British smile at you, you have to do one back. So for example, when I do the school run, pretty much do the standard awkward British smile at everybody. And I'd say only about half do it back. The other half are just like, so that's not allowed. That would result in jail. Rule number 2, the whole genre of horror is banned. Only cute spooky is allowed. Rule number 3, kids' clothes must be made in adult sizes as well. Because the amount of times I find really nice tops and things and then they only go up to like 13 years is just not acceptable. I was thinking of doing kind of cartoony drawing for this one and I'm going to colour them in using the FABER-CASTELL butterfly crayons. But to keep with the Easter theme, I'm going to make my cartoon characters bunnies and chicks. Maybe a lamb? I don't know. We shall see. Okay, so that is the 3rd page done. Now, I know that that isn't very Eastery, it's kind of autumny, but spring and autumn are my 2 favourite seasons. So this is like ultimate, my favourite things. And I used the stickers that came with the crayons. So the next one, create candy. Invent a new type of candy and describe how it tastes. So I think I might invent a few candies here and they're all going to be springy, Eastery inspired. This is probably going to have to be my last page for today and I've still got my acrylic paint pens and alcohol markers. So what I might do is do 2 sweets in one and 2 sweets in the other and I can see how they compare. So I am all finished with that one. And we've got flossies, which are, they've got like strawberry jelly, head and arms and middle, and a blueberry candy floss. We've got the candy chicks, which are marshmallow sugar shells. We've got the hot cross bunnies, which are a kind of toffee, but they taste like hot cross bun flavour. And then we've got the edible flower pot. So that was good fun. What's brilliant about these pages is they really make you stretch your imagination and go out of your comfort zone. I think my favourite, I don't know, I quite like all of them in their own way, but I do like these because they remind me of the kids and that they bought me a Mother's Day gift. I do like the way that that one looks a bit like a kind of wrapping paper design. I do like that one. And it was quite fun making all of the different chicks and bunnies doing different things. That one was funny to draw, and it was challenging coming up with rules. Oh, so what did I think of the two different pens? That one and that one was with the alcohol markers, and that one was with the acrylics. I think that I slightly prefer the acrylics because these aren't even the most like best ones on the market. I think if you want the best ones, you want to get the pastels, but they're really expensive. This is going to be controversial because alcohol markers are really on trend at the minute, and if you go on TikTok, there's just, everybody's going crazy for them, but I've tried them out quite a few times now. I don't know if it's just me, but to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. Maybe it's that I need the pastel set, but I don't like these enough to invest like another £25 on another set, to be honest. So which do I think would make the best Easter gift? Of course, the Create This book itself would make a great Easter gift, but you could perhaps pair it with one of these so that they've got something to use in the book. I think my two favourites, the pencils, because I think the tin is really nice, so it makes a nice gift. My favourite one would be the watercolour set, because that came with a pencil, a sharpener, paintbrush, some paper. There are so many colours, including sparkly colours and palette, so they've got everything that they would need. It's, again, a really nice tin. Maybe it depends on what age you're buying for, perhaps like a younger, so if I was buying for my daughter, I'd probably go for that one. If you're buying for somebody teenage upwards, maybe that one. And the paintbrushes were really good as well. Something else that you could get as an Easter gift, of course, is one of these books that I wrote and illustrated with the help of my daughter Lily. Or I now have an Etsy store and have started making personalised pet keychains. So you might have seen in my last video, I was practicing making them out of air dry clay, but now I've been making these ones out of polymer clay, so they're a bit more versatile. And you might have seen my short of where I made Tommy, my old cat from when I was, well, we first got him when I was 10 and he passed away when I was 22 when I'd like not long moved out. And yeah, I was like crying when I made this one because I needed to sort of practice before putting them for sale on Etsy, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll make Tommy, it'll be fine. I did not realise how emotional that would be. And then this one is for my daughter's best friend of her cat, Callie. That one was quite challenging because she's a long-haired cat. So that's it for today's video. I think next week I'm planning to do a bit more Eastery, springy stuff, but I'm going to be using clay again because I've just really been enjoying using clay. So if that sounds good, hit the subscribe and I shall see you next Friday. Bye.